Ugh, that was such a good season. Yeah, I'm used to cliffhangers at the end of a season, but that drama, damn, I did not see that coming. What do you want to do next? It's raining, or I would suggest a walk. I mean, I've got board games, we could fire up a video game. I think I have the makings for brownies, if you're interested in baking. I'm pretty much down for whatever. Whoa, was that? Yep, that was lightning. Looks like we got that thunderstorm after all. Babe, you okay? Babe, what's wrong? You're flinching. Is it the storm? Oh. You don't like storms. Okay. Well, let's move away from the window then. Actually, let's go into the bedroom. I have those heavy blackout curtains in there, and they help muffle some noises from outside too. It'll be a little more peaceful in there, I think. Yeah, come on. Sit down on the bed. I'll close the curtains. There. Will that help a little? Okay, good. Can I sit down next to you? Thanks. Is there anything else I can do to help you feel more comfortable? Bring you something to drink or a blanket or... No, don't worry about it. If there's something within my power to do, I'm happy to do it, really. Oh, you're all tensed up. Can I rub your back a little? Okay. What? No, don't apologize. You have nothing to be sorry for. Babe, you're allowed to be scared of things. And an uncontrollable force of nature, I mean, that's a very valid fear. Look, if anyone has ever made you feel like that's not okay, I'm here to tell you that they were very wrong. A lot of people are raised to be ashamed of their fears for different reasons. Sometimes it's someone making fun of you for your fears. Other times, someone might push their own ideals onto you that don't include room for fear, and either way, that's not right. It's okay to be scared of storms. It's okay to be scared of clowns. It's okay to be scared of the dark, or spiders, or the flying spaghetti monster. Hey, you didn't give me any grief when I had a panic attack in that crowded elevator, remember? You helped me through it, took me away from the claustrophobic space, and comforted me afterward, right? So why would I do any different for you? Fear is human, and it's valid, okay? So don't apologize to me for feeling it. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help, alright? Come here. You're still so tense. I have an idea. Let's lay down. Yep, come on. Down we go. Just like that. And then I'm going to wrap my arms around you like this. And squish. I don't mind, really. I'm going to just hold you like this until you feel better. What if the storm goes on for hours? Then I guess I'm here for hours. I could think of far worse ways to spend my day. It's okay. I'm here. I've got you. Don't worry about it. You can squeeze me as tight as you like. I will be just fine. Keep talking? Sure. How about a story? About the god of thunder himself? Yes, Thor. But don't worry, the story isn't actually about thunder. Would you like that? Okay, are you comfy? Alright. Thor, the god of thunder and the god of Thursdays, used to always sleep with his weapon by his side. That weapon being Mjolnir, the most powerful hammer that ever existed. It was made for him specifically and was considered one of the treasures of the gods. One morning, Thor woke up. He reached for Mjolnir and he discovered that it was missing. Someone had stolen it in the night. At first, he raged and caused a massive storm, but when he grew tired of his tantrum, he vowed to get his hammer back at any cost. Knowing that he had more brawn than brain, he reached out to Loki and asked for his help to find the hammer. Now, normally, Loki could be kind of a pain, but in this instance, he offered to help. He thought about it and decided that since Mjolnir was the god's main weapon against the giants, it was likely stolen by a giant. He wanted to prove his theory first, so he went to Freya because she had a lovely cloak of feathers and he asked to borrow it. She agreed, saying, "Hey, we gotta help each other out." Loki wrapped himself up in it and looked just like a hawk, and in that form he flew to the land of the giants to have a look around. While flying, Loki spotted Thrym, the king of the giants, sitting on a hilltop. When Loki sat down beside him, Thrym knew him right away. So he asked Loki, "How are the gods? How are the elves? How's life?" And Loki told him outright, "The gods aren't doing great. Our hammer's missing. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?" Thrym said, "Well, yeah, I do. I stole it and I buried it 8 miles underground and I'm not going to give it back until you give me what I want." Loki started offering gold, amber, all sorts of nice things, but the giant refused all of it. He said, "What I want is the goddess Freya as my wife. While I've never seen her for myself, I've heard she's beautiful beyond compare and I want her. Bring her here 8 days from now, and once we're wed, I'll return the hammer to you as a bride gift." So, Loki flies home and shares this news with Thor. At which point, they talk a bit and decide, let's go talk to Freya. Thor doesn't really have tact, so he doesn't really talk to Freya so much as he just walks in and tells her, "Girl, pick a pretty dress, put some flowers in your hair, get your favorite necklace, and put on a smile, because you're gonna marry this guy. My hammer is buried 8 miles underground and I need it back, and we help each other in this house, so you're getting hitched. Okay, thanks, bye." But Freya was having none of that. No way. She's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, and she is certainly not taking orders from a meatball like Thor. She gets all fired up, rightly so, and says, "Look, dumbass, if you think I'm gonna wed a giant to save your ass, you've lost your damn mind. You say your hammer's 8 miles underground? Start digging." And she kicks them both out of her house. But something still had to be done. Word had spread by then, and the gods and goddesses came together as a council to decide what they'd do about this, because they really did need the hammer back. It was their best line of defense against the giants. At this council was Heimdall, the sleepless watcher of the world. He had the ability to see into the future, so his advice was always heeded. And he had a pretty good sense of humor. He looked at Thor and he says, "Pick a pretty dress, put some flowers in your hair, borrow Freya's favorite necklace, and put on a smile because you're gonna marry this guy." And of course, Thor gets pissed. Heimdall's like, "Come on, don't be upset. You'll get to be the bride of the king of giants. Cheer up." And Thor continues to be angry because now he's on the receiving end of the same treatment he gave to Freya. But when the gods and goddesses had stopped laughing about it, Loki stepped up and goes, "Actually, though, that would be a hilarious trick to play on the guy who stole your hammer. If you do this, then I'll get all dolled up and dress as your bridesmaid and stand by your side on your special day. Besides, if you don't agree, then the giants are probably going to come here and destroy everything we love with the hammer, so take one for the team, buddy. Thor realized that he had no choice but to go along with the plan. So, the 8th day dawns. Thor gets ready for his wedding with the help of all the goddesses. These ladies bring him a beautiful long dress with flowers and precious gems embroidered onto the hem. Freya lends him her favorite necklace, which happened to be a treasure of the gods itself and was kind of her trademark. And then finally, they covered his head and face with a veil because he still looked very much like himself. Loki, of course, couldn't resist. He tells Thor, "Oh, you're the prettiest bride I've ever seen." But mind you, Thor still sounds like himself. So Loki transforms into a beautiful young servant girl and tells him, "Let me do all the talking so we don't get found out." And with that, the two of them set off towards the realm of the giants. Thrym saw the bridal party on their way and hollered to everyone, "Get a feast going, get some chairs out. Damn it, it's my wedding day." So they set up, get food prepared, welcome the bridal party, all that jazz, and everyone settles down to eat before the actual ceremony. Loki sits himself down between Thor and Thrym under the guise of propriety so that they are able to keep Thor's identity hidden. The giants brought massive quantities of food and drink. This is a huge feast. But they're passing out plates full of little pastries, and Loki picks a dainty little one, keeping up appearances. But Thor just shovels every single pastry on the plate into his mouth at once. And then he proceeded to eat an entire ox, 8 salmon, and almost all of the remaining pastries that they set out on the table. Not only that, but he washed down the food with no less than 3 barrels of mead. Thrym comes up and he's like, "I've never seen a bride with so big an appetite before. What's that about?" And Loki, as a dainty little bridesmaid, says, "Oh, Freya was so excited for the wedding that she didn't eat or drink for 8 whole days, and now that she's in your presence, she's finally able to eat again." Thrym's like, "Aw, that's so sweet. Let me give her a kiss." And he goes to lift up the veil, and he sees Thor all made up and glaring back at him furiously. Thrym jumps back, startled, but he still didn't recognize Thor. He just saw angry red eyes and a scowl. Thrym leans over to the bridesmaid, Loki, and is like, "Have you ever seen a bride with such red eyes and a furious expression on her wedding day? I thought Freya was supposed to be the most beautiful of all the goddesses." And Loki, being quick as a whip, is like, "Oh, well, she was so excited for the wedding that she didn't sleep for 8 days and nights. That's why she looks like shit." And Thrym, again, is like, "Aw, what a sweetheart." Feeling decently reassured, he yells to his attendants, "Bring Mjolnir, the hammer of Thor, lay it on the bride's lap so the high priest may bless our wedding." And that's the first thing that made Thor happy in days. As soon as the priest put the hammer on his lap, he threw off the bridal veil, the flowers ripped off the dress, and went on a rampage, using Mjolnir to kill Thrym and every giant in the hall. At the end of it all, Loki crawled out from under a table in his true form and went, "Well, looks like you handled it." And Thor replied, "That wasn't too bad. At least I got a good dinner out of it." And they headed home. Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories from any mythology. I mean, the world's mythologies are full of gems, but that one just makes me laugh every single time. You feel quite a bit more relaxed. Good. Good, I'm glad it helped. Of course I'll stay. I promised to hold on to you until the storm was over, didn't I? I'm not going anywhere.